A very warm welcome to the fourth day of the national level FDP Bharatiya Gyan Mahotsav, revisiting Indian knowledge system, organized by IQAC Government College of Arts, Science and Commerce, Kandola, Marcel, Goa. Today's exploration takes us into the heart of cosmic wisdom as we delve into the evolution of the universe. What is the lesson for man? To begin with, I request Mr. Akash Garde, Assistant Professor of English, to say a prayer before we begin our journey to knowledge and enlightenment.
Thank you, Mavis. Let us all pray from the bottom of our hearts that as the convention unfolds novel areas of knowledge, leading all of us to the path of enlightenment, we shall always strive to preserve it and pass it to the next generation. Let us all come together and revisit the ancient Indian knowledge system with our honorable guest speaker, Professor V.S. Phadke. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Akash. In the grand tradition of Indian thought, the cosmos is not merely a celestial phenomena. It is a cosmic teacher offering profound insight into the purpose and essence of human existence. I now request our principal, Professor Purnakala Samant, to address the gathering.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to welcome all the participants for this 6-day FDP on Bharatiya Gyan Mahotsav, revisiting Indian knowledge system. Today we have amidst with us Professor V.S. Phadke, retired head of geography department from Mumbai University, and he'll be delivering his session on evolution of universe. What is the lesson for man? In fact, uh, this is very wide topic, and sir has to configure it in 1 hour. And I know sir might have taken a lot of efforts because we are going to our evolution of universe. And when it is universe, we the solar system also comes as a main part of the universe. We human being, environment, and solar system. And the solar system that recently, people from India, the Chandrayaan that has pushed up over the moon, very tells about the science and technology, which the flight that has been taken from ancient till now, when Indians in particular has put the step on moon. So with this respect, I hope that today's deliberation will be very helpful for all the participants today, and it is going to be a boon for us having Professor Phadke with us. We know that Professor Phadke was very busy in his schedule, yet in a short notice of time by the by Professor Rath, who has we asked Professor Rath from geography department, sir, we wanted one eminent personality from geography field, and he immediately unanimously said it is no other than Professor Phadke. And then we start hunting how to trap sir in our nest, and somehow we are very happy that he is in our nest of faculty development program, and we all will be benefited by his experienced thoughts to all of us. So thank you, Mavis, for giving me an opportunity to welcome all the participants, faculties from Goa, across India, and my own faculties listening to this webinar. All the best and good day to everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I now request.
As the people from science must be knowing, it is filled with ether. And therefore it is called ethereal kingdom. You also see something in the sky. So many bodies, luminous bodies. Some of them are twinkling, some of them are not twinkling. Now, those which are twinkling are called stars. And therefore they form their own kingdom, what we call sidereal kingdom. And those which do not twinkle, and as you know, they move round the earth, they are called planets. And planets have in their crust so many minerals. All of you belonging to Goa may be knowing so many minerals are mined also. Now they are mined for human purpose, but there are some minerals which are at micro level, which are mined by plants. And therefore it is called mineral kingdom. Now plants also have their own existence and they have their own sphere. That is also one kingdom, what is called vegetable kingdom, which is formed of vegetation. Then within this vegetation, you have animals. And therefore, that is another kingdom, what we call animal kingdom. And I am sure you know that man is also an animal. Although advanced animal, and therefore it is recognized as a separate kingdom, that is called human kingdom. One more kingdom is recognized, which is not existing at the moment, but it is a utopian kingdom, which is not evolved by the God. It is to be evolved by man, and that is called celestial kingdom. And this celestial kingdom is yet to be formed. It is utopian. What we call heaven. Now, when we talk about heaven, we feel that it is something above us in the space. But it is not really above us. It has to be formed on this earth itself by man, by his own behavior. And thus we have 7 kingdoms. 6 of them are already existing. They have given to us by man, handed over to us by God. The 7th kingdom is to be handed over to the next generation by man. And that is what we call the celestial kingdom. Now, since there is a creation in these various forms of kingdoms, there must be creator. Now, who is the creator? There is no unanimity about this creator, but it is a creative power. Now, this is called God, simply. Now, why God? There are 3 letters in God. G stands for generation. O stands for organization. That is nurturing of forms. And D stands for destruction. So forms are not only produced, but they are nurtured by the same force, same creative force, and finally they are to be destroyed. And therefore you will find all those forms which exist, which we can see, are not only produced, but they are also destroyed. Now, why are they destroyed? Because unless the old forms are destroyed, new forms cannot exist. There will be too many of them. And therefore, there should be balance. And it is to maintain this balance, what is created is also destroyed. Now, that is my meaning of God. Now the forms are destructible, they are perishable. But the creative power is not perishable, it is eternal, everlasting, and final. That is the cause of everything, but it has no cause. It is causeless cause. Now let us see what are the qualities of this power. Now this power which produces everything doesn't have a form, and therefore it cannot be seen, it cannot be heard, it cannot be touched. Now you know that any power or any energy has two principles. One is positive, other is negative. Electricity has positive, it has negative. Magnet also has positive and negative, but we don't call it as positive and negative. We call it north and south. That is the case with every form. And it is because of these two principles, everything is kept in balance. And because it is kept in balance, there is order in what the God has produced. Okay? Now, man is different from this power. This power shows order. Somehow, man is not showing this order. Although man has also been produced by God. Now, what is the difference between God and man? God has no form, but man has a form. And we are all forms for that matter. We also have positive and negative. Do you know that? Let us try. You close your right nostril, all of you, and inhale only with left nostril for some time. Now close your left nostril and inhale only with right nostril. Is there any difference in feeling? Or feeling is the same? Yes?
Difference.
Is there a difference in? What is the difference?
Left cooler and right is hot.
Which is cooler?
Left.
Left is cooler
Yeah.
and right is
Hotter. It is
warmer.
Chandra and Surya.
Isn't it? Now, why is it so?
It is
Because
Chandra Nadi and Surya Nadi.
in left energy, from left nostril, we take negative prana energy. And from right nostril, we take positive prana energy. And this you can use in your life also if you are feeling warm. That happens during summer. You try to inhale with negative, that is left nostril. And during cold season, you can inhale with right nostril, and that will give that feeling. Okay? So you have positive and negative in your nostril. Now think of your thoughts. Is the quality of thoughts same always? Sometimes you have the feeling of love. Sometimes you have the feeling of hate. What is the difference? which is positive, which is negative.
Love will be
Love,
positive.
love is constructive, positive, isn't it? And hate is negative. Okay? So in the body, man has positive, negative. In his thoughts also, he has positive, negative. But since there are positive and negative in man, man must use it in a balanced manner. That does not happen. Man is thinking many times in a negative way. He talks of failure, he talks of disappointment. That is negative. If he talks about success, if he talks about health, if he talks about youth, then that will be positive. And his existence and his life depends on how he thinks. If he thinks of health, he will be healthy. If he thinks of youth, he will always feel young. If he thinks of life, he will live longer. On the other hand, if he thinks of diseases, he will always have something, some sickness, etc. Isn't it? So these things are to be used in balance. But man does not make use of these things in balance. He thinks more negatively, and therefore more negative things come in his life. And therefore there is disorder. Now, while Creator shows order, man shows disorder. Creator has a balance, man shows imbalances. Okay? So both of them have positive and negative, but one is in order, other is in disorder. Therefore, human life is mostly in disorder. Have we to keep it like that, or we have to make it orderly? If we have to make it orderly, then we have to think rightly, that is positively, and we have to speak also positively, because speech is very important. When you speak positively, that thing will be created in your life. Speak is your power to produce. There are two powers. One is your imagination, that will determine your life. Other power is thinking. Third power is speaking. Now let us see how God has proceeded in evolution of this universe. That is one aspect, that is one purpose of this talk. And the other purpose of this talk is, what should man learn from the gods and God's creation? Now, first thing that the God has created is the ethereal kingdom, which we have talked about earlier. And this ethereal kingdom is full of ether. What is ether? Ether is a matter which cannot be seen because it is subatomic. It is not even microscopic, therefore cannot be seen even under microscope. It is subtle, but it is full. It is not a void. There are particles, many of you must have heard about protons. Protons are positively charged particles. There are negatively charged particles also. What are they called?
Electrons.
Electrons. There are some particles which do not have charge. They are called neutrons. And there are so many other particles like positrons. Okay. But we are concerned more with these three: protons, which are positively charged, electrons, which are negatively charged, and neutrons, which have no charge. Because these three particles make the whole of the universe. Now, to start with, protons and electrons, because they are differently charged, unevenly charged, one is positive, other is negative. When there are unlike charges, there is an attraction. When there are like charges, there is repulsion. So there was attraction between protons and neutrons. Now, this attraction is spiritually called the selfless love of God. Why is it selfless? Because God does not have to gain anything, but others are going to get. And therefore, it is called selfless love of God. And because of this, because of this attraction, these two particles have come together and they have started producing. Now they have produced one proton and one electron has produced the first atom. And that atom is a gaseous atom, what we call hydrogen. Then the next particle that was produced was that of helium. It has got two protons, two neutrons at the center, and then orbiting around these two protons and neutrons are two electrons. So two positively charged particles, two negatively charged particles, there is a balance. That is called helium. Now, why am I talking about hydrogen and helium? Because they are the constituents of the stars. And that is how the second kingdom has come into existence. And that kingdom is what we call sidereal kingdom, kingdom of stars. Now, this sidereal kingdom is also selfless because it provides light energy. This light is important. It is important for us. It is important for every other form. It is important more for plants. Why is it important for plants? Any idea? Why is it important for plants?
Photosynthesis.
You must have heard about photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a process by which plants manufacture their food. And that's why they are called autotrophs, self-producing. They are the first producers. So it provides energy. Movement of stars also shows order. It is not disorderly. It shows balance. Now, what should man learn from this? These two, from the first kingdom, ethereal kingdom, man should learn how to love all without any differentiation. And from sidereal kingdom, he should learn that as sidereal kingdom is giving light to everybody, we should also give light, give our knowledge to others who do not have, and uplift them. If we cannot give, at least we should bring the people without knowledge to a place or to a person where such knowledge is available. Now, this is our duty. Now, you must be knowing that we have a solar system, and the nearest star to us is Sun. Now, some material has slipped from the Sun. It has been pushed out by another star with a greater gravitational force. And since it has slipped, it has moved away from the star. Now, star is very hot. But when it has moved away from the star, it has got cooled. And when a substance cools, it gets solidified. Solidification has started from the surface. It is going inward. And therefore, the pieces which have been produced by this matter, from this matter, they got rounded and they have become planets. You know, there are 8 planets in the solar system. You have Mercury, then Venus, Earth is a planet, Mars is a planet, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. All these are planets. And planets have a crust which contains minerals. And therefore it is called mineral kingdom. Now, what are the qualities with mineral kingdom? Where is mineral kingdom? Is it on the surface or it is hidden below the surface? Is it on the surface or hidden below the surface?
Below the surface.
Below the surface. It is hidden. It cannot be seen. It doesn't talk. Does it talk? It doesn't talk. But it has order. Oil is not seen everywhere. You know, Middle East countries are rich in oil. They are deserts. Now, it is in these areas that many forms, especially animals, were buried. And these buried animals, there have been reactions and interaction between the material which has produced oil and natural gas. Okay? You know, there are coal mines. Do you have coal mine in Goa?
Yes,
Do you
yes.
have coal mine
Coal.
in Goa?
No. Gold.
But where do you find coal mines? You find in Jharkhand, you find in valleys, especially rift valleys, where vegetation has been buried, forests have been buried. And when the forests have been buried, the wood has been converted into coal after a very long time. So coal mines are found in valleys. Okay? You have minerals in Goa. You have iron. You have manganese.
Yes.
Now these are found in some selected places. And geologically, that is called Dharwad formations. Dharwad.
Dharwad. Okay.
Yeah. Because you also find many minerals near Belgaum, Dharwad, isn't it?
Yes.
Then you have bauxite in Goa also.
Yes. That's it. Yes.
Huh? Where do you find bauxite? Bauxite and laterite go together. You have laterite in Goa, you have bauxite in Goa also, isn't it?
Yes.
Laterite has more of iron oxide, and bauxite has more aluminium oxide. And both these are produced because of leaching of the materials. Now, man should learn something from this. One thing he can learn is he should keep himself hidden. He should not pose himself, isn't it?
Okay, yes,
Often he
yes,
poses himself
yes,
to
yes.
show him off, isn't it? He should not pose himself. He may be knowing, but he should not show that he knows too much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay? He shouldn't talk because man talks too much, does little. That is the observation, isn't it? Is it your observation also?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Uh-huh. So he should learn these things from mineral kingdom. Okay. Now you have light, you have water, you have air, and from the viewpoint of vegetable kingdom, from the air, one gas is very important, and that is carbon dioxide. Okay. Now taking these together, the minerals which are found in mineral kingdom, plants or the vegetable kingdom produces food on its own. Nobody gives it the food. The process we have already seen is photosynthesis. And all the things, all the branches, leaves, flowers, fruits, roots, etc., are made of this food, which has resulted from photosynthesis. Okay. Now, what are the qualities? I told you plants are autotrophs. Autotrophs means they produce their own food. They do not depend on anybody or any other form for their food. And for whom are they producing food? Mango tree produces mango. For whom?
For us.
For us, isn't it? Rice grass produces rice for us. Okay. So this is the food which is produced for others. And therefore they are also selfless. They sacrifice everything that they produce. Now, what are the things that they take? They take soil, that is minerals from the soil. They take water, they take sunlight, and they take carbon dioxide from the air, which we can also take. And if we take them and take them to any lab, can we produce food? We cannot produce food. You cannot produce food. But plants alone produce because they have the power. And this is what is called transmutation. Now they produce food for all other forms above them. They produce food for animals, they produce food for man. Besides this, they give shelter to animals as well as man. They give material for clothing and also many other materials for our higher luxuries and comforts. Everything that they produce is given out. That is called sacrifice. Best example of sacrifice is vegetable kingdom. Now, is there any order in plant life? Do you find coniferous forest in Goa? Coniferous conifers in Goa do you have? Conifers, pines, firs, deodas, do you have in Goa?
Yes, yes.
No, Devdas.
Now the plants we have.
You don't have. They are found only in Himalaya.
Himalaya.
Okay. Because some plants are produced in cold regions, some are produced in warm regions. What about deserts? Deserts have only bushy plants which have thorns. They are bushes. Okay. Even if you take the Western Ghats and go beyond the Western Ghats, you find lot of variation in vegetation. You have semi-evergreen, evergreen, then you have forests which shade their leaves during summer. They are called deciduous forests. Some shade leaf for a shorter period of time, some shade leaf for a longer period of time, and then you have the vegetation where you have very small leaves and only for a short period of time, like babul. Now, this differentiation is because of the differences in rainfall. So, you have differences in vegetation because of temperature, you have differences in vegetation because of rainfall, you also have differences in vegetation because of height. Now, vegetation do not have freedom to move, but the environment differs, and therefore it has got freedom only to adapt itself morphologically. There are structural adaptations. You know, if you go to desert, you have plants with thorns, with small leaves. Why are the leaves small? Because leaves perform the function of transpiration. Transpiration is a process where the water is lost. In deserts, water is in short supply and therefore it cannot be lost. They cannot afford to lose water. Therefore, the leaves are small. On the other hand, if you go to Kerala, leaves are very broad because there is lot of moisture in the soil. They can afford to lose. Now, these are called adaptations. If you go to marshy areas, you find the roots come up. In marshy areas, you find roots coming up. That is to take air and also moisture, because although they are in water, they cannot take water because it is saturated. Okay. Besides this, vegetation also cleans the air automatically. How does it clean the air? You know, plants take carbon dioxide, give out oxygen. So it is purified. And this is automatic purification. Now, this is the engagement, this is the order in nature. They also allow the water to percolate into the soil. So, underground storage of water also increases. They also bind the soil. So, soil conservation also exists because of plants. They give us protection from hot sun and they moderate climate. Where are our recreational sites? Near forest or away from forest? Recreational sites, are they near the forest or away from forest? Recreation. Near the forest or away from forest?
Recreation.
They should be
Hillside,
Near the forest.
near the forest. So forests also help us to recreate ourselves, reinvigorate our bodies. Okay. At the same time, you will find, although they know that whatever they produce is to be sacrificed, plants struggle for survival. Even if the environment is favorable, they do not say we will not grow. They grow. Even on sands, you find vegetation. It is called samophytic vegetation. Even in deserts, you find vegetation. Okay? Even in very cold areas, you find vegetation. They adapt. Most important, they do not boast. Do they boast? They are always, they have always humility in their behavior. Okay? So, what should man learn from this? Whatever he has to give to the extent possible. He has also to struggle, not for himself, but also for others. And he has to show humility. He should be humble. What is your observation from yourself? Do you possess these qualities? Are you humble like vegetation? Do you sacrifice everything like vegetation? So we have to take all
Not
these.
totally. Not totally.
Okay. So this, if you have some, that is good. Okay. But generally, what we find is man does not have possessed these qualities, but he should have. If he has to create the utopian celestial kingdom or the heaven, it is to be produced here on the earth. Now, using this food produced by plants, next kingdom that has been produced is animal kingdom. You know, animals cannot produce their own food, but they can transmute some food. Therefore, they are called heterotrophs. Heterotrophs means depending on others for food. Plants, animals depend on grass and also on shrubs for their food. But they also produce food. Do you know animals can also produce food? You must be knowing, you must be taking animal food also, isn't it? Fish produce their own food. Sheep produce their own food. Goats produce their own food. Do they produce? Or they convert? They convert the food produced by vegetation into usable products. Cow, for example, eats grass, produces milk. Goat produces milk and mutton. All animals produce skin, hides and skin. That is also important. Animals help us as means of transport and also means of farming. They are draft animals. And then they give us milk, meat, wool, leather, horns, okay, for decoration purposes. Now, animals show very important quality of effort, putting in effort and right effort. Now, why do I say right effort? Because their efforts are accurate. And we also have to learn many things from them. You know, honeybees. Honeybees toil throughout the day. to collect nectar from plants from which they make honey in hives. Beehives you have. Okay. So they have to toil. Ants, what are they known for? They are known for discipline. Okay. We have seen egrets waiting for a long time in standing water for catching fish. Now they stand in water for a long time. That is the quality of endurance. Cats. Cats catch mouse. How accurately they do it? We cannot do it so accurately. That is called accuracy. Monkeys who are going from one tree, one branch to the other branch, one tree to the other branch, without fearing. That is because they have faith that they will definitely reach the other branch. They don't get disappointed. You have seen sparrows, they bring their nest, we destroy, again they build it, and this happens on and on because they don't get disappointed. Animals are alert also. Which is the most important alert animal? Dog. Dog. You feel he is in sleep, but dog is not in sleep. If he finds something fishy, he gets alert. So all these qualities we have to learn from animals for our benefit. Okay. So all these kingdoms have to give something to man. And man has passed through all these stages. Okay, man was a plant for some time, man was an animal for some time, man has become man now. He has passed through all these universe. Now, since he has passed through all these stages, he has acquired all these qualities. What are the qualities we have seen so far? The order, speaking less, sacrifice, efforts, which are seen in earlier kingdoms. Man possesses all these qualities potentially. He doesn't use them. He should start using them. Plus, God has also provided some additional qualities to man and additional capabilities. Which are those additional capabilities which other kingdoms do not have? He has speech. And because of speech, he can exchange his ideas with others. Okay? He can observe. Some quality of observation is there with animals also, but man has better quality to observe. He can observe, for example, how vegetable kingdom behaves, and then he can emulate. He can observe animal kingdom and then acquire or try to make use of the qualities that he possesses in a right way. He can imagine. Other kingdoms do not imagine, they don't have the power. And when he can imagine, he should imagine it to use the powers better. And using these powers, which he already possesses, exploiting these powers, he should try to create a better, orderly world for himself and also for others. Thus, for example, he should emulate godly love, which we have seen in ethereal kingdom. At present, man shows love, but he shows love only for himself and also for his own family, his own friends, not for all. What about God's love? God's love is for all. Okay. So he should also emulate this. He should love all. And not only love all the humanity, but also for the other forms of life, which he is not doing. And therefore, there are several problems which are created. As I have told you while talking about the sidereal kingdom, he should use his energies to bring up the downtrodden. As we have seen in mineral kingdom, he should talk less, do more. As we have seen in vegetable kingdom, he should give, give and give to the extent he can. He should sacrifice. Okay. Now, if he does that, he will be in a position to maintain a balance between give and take. At the moment, you find that man is more interested in taking, grabbing from other universes, other kingdoms. He doesn't think of giving. But there should be a balance between the give and take. Instead of only taking, he should also think of giving. Now, if that happens, then there will be a right flow, continuous flow of materials and energy from one universe to the other, one kingdom to the other. From animal kingdom, he should learn that he has all these qualities as he has passed through that kingdom, but he should put it in a right manner so that our universe will be in order, harmony, and finally we should achieve the peace, which is very important for life. Now, unless there is peace, our life has no meaning. So, all these qualities which he possesses, he should try to express. And once he expresses, he will be in a position to create a good order in the universe, in the world, and that will be the next kingdom which he is supposed to produce. That is what we call celestial kingdom by his own action. But what do we find in man? Does he possess all this, or does he make use of these qualities? The present man shows selfishness. He is self centered. He wants to get everything for himself, doesn't think of others. There are laws. As you have the laws of the government, but you have the laws of the traffic, but what do you find? Man observes the laws or he breaks the laws. What is your observation? Laws of the traffic. He breaks the laws, isn't it? He always finds loopholes in the laws. Best example is income tax laws. He tries to find loopholes and save the tax. As you have the laws of living in human kingdom or government laws, you also have the laws of nature. Now, since we do not follow these laws of nature, we have created the problems for us. Say, for example, many of you must have heard about the food chain. Food passes on from one form to the other. Okay. Man breaks the food chain. How does he break the food chain? There are producers, there are consumers. What is the next important level? You have disintegrators. Okay. Those who disintegrate the food, and this disintegration brings back the material to the system. So if the chains work out very well, there will be order and circulation. But this does not happen because man has a habit of storing. Now, if he gives up this habit of too much of storing of money, also of the materials, those things will be made available to the environment and the cycle will continue. Otherwise, the cycle will be broken. Man exploits the resources beyond the capacity of the potentialities. Now, this is true of exhaustible resources like minerals. It is also true of living resources or continuous resources, as we call them, or renewable resources. What about forest? Forest is renewable, but if it is depleted beyond the capacity of regrowth, you will find that the earth will be devoid of the forest cover. And that is happening in many areas. And because the forest is depleted, there are so many problems. One of the important problems is that of global warming. Too much of carbon dioxide because there is no vegetation to take it up. When there is too much of carbon dioxide, there is too much of absorption of heat, too much of warming. And that is at the global level. Therefore, we call it global warming. Therefore, there is disorder and chaos. Instead of order, there is disorder. Instead of harmony, there is chaos. Man should have friendly behavior with the other forms. Does it exist? Or there is more enmity in his behavior? Because of these enmities, you have quarrels, you have battles, you have wars. Two wars. One is between Russia and Ukraine. And now there is one war between Israel and Hamas. Okay. Now these are seen, but there are so many unseen wars, cold wars. Okay. One between China and India. Because there is territorial occupation, encroachment, expansionism, imperial attitude, because of which there is lot of enmity. Another important thing, man is thinking of now, but he should also think of the future generation. What heritage is he going to give to next generation? But he seems to not think about it. Although, of course, there are efforts at the global level which are now coming around to the type of development which we should have, eco-friendly development. And there are movements, ecological movements, etc. All these have led to loss of plenty because resources have been exhausted. Loss of peace also because there are quarrels and battles. There is no piety also. Even in our religious centers, you don't find much of piety because of commercial attitude. Okay. The question is why this has happened. Although man possesses all these qualities potentially, he is not exploiting them. Why this has happened? This has happened mainly because of one thing. The creator for other universes below man has not given any freedom, and therefore they follow laws. They don't have a power to change their own environment, but man has the freedom. He has the power. Now, freedom was given for a right choice to take right decision, which will benefit all. Unfortunately, man has not used the freedom for intended purpose. He has misunderstood it. He has used the freedom arbitrarily, and therefore he has created many problems for himself. As we have seen, he has wasted resources of all the parties by his arbitrariness, and therefore there is unnecessary pressure not only on exhaustible resources but also on the renewable resources. Now, man is a part of environment or he is apart from environment? Is he outside environment or is he a part of environment?
Part of it.
He is a part of environment. But is he thinking a part of environment or he is thinking himself apart from environment? He is thinking himself outside the environment just to exploit the environment, which is not the case. He is a part of the environment, and therefore he should learn that whatever that damages the environment would also damage himself. His survival also depends on his behavior. And his behavior, by right choice, should be oriented to sustenance of the environment and therefore sustenance of himself also. Let us hope from this that man learns from the past mistake, follows natural laws. How can he follow natural laws? By understanding rightly what he is expected to do. Only understanding is not sufficient. He should go to next step. He should make a resolution. That is called right resolution. And what is the resolution? To make this earth livable planet. He should use his speech rightly. That means speak less, do more. Not hurt others, other human beings, other forms also. Shows right conduct by keeping a balance between give and take. Put right effort to make living right, and not only to live himself, but also let others live. And it is these steps from right understanding through right resolution, right speech, right conduct, right effort, right living, he will bring the celestial kingdom or heaven right on the earth itself. He doesn't have to go to heaven because heaven is not a place. Heaven is a state of life. present state of life is not at all heaven, it is hell. He should change it to heaven by adapting himself and following these laws which are provided by nature, expressed by nature in different kingdoms which are below man. Now we are a part of humanity, isn't it? Teachers, we are a part of humanity and we are an important part because we are teaching and we are developing the new generation. Okay? So even if others do not follow the law, we should follow the law. So since we are a part of humanity, we should make a pledge right now that we should play our role and contribute to building of the right environment, what we call the celestial kingdom or heaven, onto the earth itself. Okay? Now this is my request to you, and this is what has been brought in the prayer, isn't it? That was invoked in the beginning itself. It is not only a prayer, but this is what we have to do. Okay? So thank you very much. If you have anything to ask. Now this is what we learn in Brahma Vidya, which is the ancient system of yoga. I am sure in Goa also you have classes in Brahma Vidya. So you try to find out, and if you have any interest and if you want to improve yourself, if you want to develop these things and bring heaven, you can also join Brahma Vidya. Thank you.
Questions?
Thank you, sir,
Yeah.
for that wonderful talk. It was very much needed because man is indeed selfish, and we have to come out of our selfishness and explore and exploit, which as per your talk, we already possess these good qualities, but we have kept them on hold. So man has to really exploit these qualities and bring this utopian celestial kingdom into it's not a heaven, but we should make our hell a heaven. So thank you so much. Now I would like, if anybody in the audience, if you all have any questions or any comments to make, please do so. The virtual platform is open for your comments as well as your doubts. Or if anyone wants to take a pledge, yes, you're welcome to do so. It's high time we all take a pledge that we change our lifestyle and our habits, and we should know where we stand. We are not outside the environment, but we are part of the environment.
सर नमस्कार। एक्चुअली मैं शुरू से ही इतना मंत्रमुग्ध हो गई हूँ सर, बिल्कुल निशब्द। जैसे आपने कहा कि धरती से ही हमें सब कुछ सीखना है, और चारों तरफ धरती और प्रकृति हमारी गुरु है, चाहे वो पत्ता पत्ता बूटा बूटा ईंट पत्थर क्यों ना हो, हम प्रकृति के ही अंग हैं। और जिस प्रकार आपने बताया सर, पूरी वैज्ञानिकता के साथ, पूरी तार्किकता के साथ जिस आध्यात्मिकता को आपने हमारे समक्ष रखा, वो सच में सर अद्भुत है। और मैं सोच रही थी कि जब आपने अब तक हम प्रकृति से ही सीख रहे थे, धरती से, सूर्य से, क्या डिसिप्लिन, कैसी ऑर्डर है, और यही सब कुछ हमें सीखना है, वही हमारा पालन पोषण कर रहा है। और हम क्यों बोस्ट कर रहे हैं? हमारी रक्त की बूंद बूंद पर एक्चुअली उस जो आपने कहा कि उस पृथ्वी और उस धरती का ही तो अधिकार है, और फिर भी हम बोस्ट करते हैं कि हमने ये किया, हमने वो किया। मैंने प्लांट पौधा लगाया, और वो पौधा लगाने वाला कोई और ही अदृश्य शक्ति है, जिसका आपने अभी हमें बताया कि हम किस बात पर बोस्ट करते हैं, हम किसे पाशविक कहे सर? क्योंकि एनिमल्स में जो आपने कहा कि इतना देने की, वो अपनी स्किन तक देता है, वो अपनी चमड़ी तक देता है, खुद दूध देकर हमें पोषित करता है, और हम किस बात का स्वार्थ कर रहे हैं। सर शुरू से सुन रही थी, सुनते सुनते मेरे आंखों में कभी कभी आंसू आ रहे थे कि इतना सब कुछ हमारे आसपास है कि धरती बूंद बूंद दे रही है और हम लूटने में लगे हुए हैं। तो कहीं ना कहीं रुकना चाहिए, कहीं ना कहीं हमें पीछे मुड़कर देखना है, अपने आसपास देखना है कि चारों तरफ कितना सौंदर्य है, कितनी खूबी है इस प्रकृति में और इस धरती में। और सर आपने सच में जो यहाँ पर उपस्थित है उनकी आंखें, हमारी आंखें तो खोली ही हैं। और एक बहुत बड़ी बात जो आपने कही कि मौन, हमें मौन का पालन करना है। कभी कभार जहाँ नहीं बात करनी चाहिए वहां भी हम बोलते हैं, तो किस प्रकार मौन से हम अपनी शक्ति बढ़ा सकते हैं। एक बहुत बड़ा लेसन आपने दिया सर, हम आपको बार बार सुनना चाहेंगे सर, और मुझे लगता है कि प्रत्यक्ष हमें आपको बुलाना चाहिए और हमें अपने विद्यार्थियों के लिए, हमारी इस पीढ़ी के लिए, शिक्षकों के लिए और आने वाली पीढ़ी के लिए भी आपको आमंत्रित करना चाहिए। सर हम आपसे सच में बहुत ऋणी हैं, और मैं तो थैंक यू कहूँगी प्रोफेसर रथ को कि अगर उन्होंने आपको आमंत्रित नहीं किया होता तो इतना सुंदर व्याख्यान हम नहीं सुन पाते। ये केवल शब्द नहीं थे सर, ये इन हर शब्द ने हमें सिखाया है कि धरती आपका गुरु है, कि आपके चारों ओर जो वातावरण है वही आपको सिखाता है। सर फिर एक बार इन सारी बातों से हमें उस दृष्टि देने के लिए मैं आपको तहे दिल से धन्यवाद कहती हूँ। और किसी को कुछ कहना है तो कह सकते हैं, लेकिन अभी हमारा समय हो रहा है। ओवर टू डायरेक्टर।
मैं एक बात बोलना चाहता हूँ।
जी सर।
आपने सुमित्रानंद पंत को मालूम होंगे आपको?
हाँ, सुमित्रानंद पंत।
हाँ, सुमित्रानंद पंत वो बोलते थे यह धरती कितना देती है,
यह धरती कितना देती है।
हाँ, ये उनका पोएम है।
यस, यस, धरती बहुत देती है, बहुत
देते हैं।
और
दूसरी एक बात है, मैन आते समय कुछ नहीं लाता,
यस,
जाते समय भी कुछ नहीं लेता,
नहीं लेके जाता,
फिर भी इतना जो प्रैक्टिस कर रहा है वो खुद के लिए कर रहा है। क्यों?
स्वार्थ क्यों इतना? यस यस।
हाँ, आम जो पकाता है वो क्या करता है, मैंने पौधा लगाया,
हाँ,
मैंने आम निर्माण किए, लेकिन आम किसने निर्माण किया? वो पौधे ने निर्माण किया। Man is not producing, that plant is producing because it has got the power,
yes,
and it has got the knowledge to do it.
जी।
We cannot do it.
प्रोटॉन्स इलेक्ट्रॉन्स की भी बात की।
Yeah, everything is produced by protons and electrons.
सकारात्मकता, नकारात्मकता। सकारात्मक रहे तो सब कुछ बदल सकता है सर। दृष्टि सकारात्मक होनी चाहिए। Thank you so much, sir.
So one more comment I would like to share with you, sir, and with the audience. You spoke about vegetation which is there even in the desert, right?
Yeah.
So that vegetation which is there, especially date palms, which are growing in the sandy area in the desert. So a study was done wherein the more the stress which is given to them, because that is saline environment, they're salt and they don't have enough water holding capacity, the sand. But in spite of the stress, if more stress is given to them, and the dates are much sweeter. So that is the sacrifice what we were talking about, that even at the expense of not having the best of conditions, what they produce is much better. So that is something we have to learn from the plants. So
another thing, the best quality of rice also comes from the areas which have less rainfall.
Oh yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So that is something which we really have to emulate from the plants. So I think also we are, it's time up. So I would like to conclude. So sir, thanks is a small word for you. We are completely in awe of you, the way you have given us a lecture and, really made our brains to think that man is nothing finally. Though he possesses all the qualities, but because of his selfish behavior, he has kept them hidden and is not, expressing these qualities. So, with today's talk, Sir has showed us, taken us on the journey of some disciplined insects or animals like honeybees, ants, egrets, who speak less, who have shown discipline, who have shown endurance. And it's high time we learn from plants as well as from animals who provide us everything. Plants which are autotrophic, animals which are giving us from milk to meat to their skin or their fur, etc. So man who is possessing most of these qualities because he has undergone a change from plants to animals and now human being, and he has got added qualities as well like speech, observation, imagination, capacity to dream. Okay, man has to dream and do good things, have good dreams and fulfill those dreams. So, in addition to that, he also told us about showing God's love, not only loving himself and his immediate family or humanity, but also showing enough love for other animals, living things on the earth. And that is something known as agape. If man would only use his energy to bring up the downtrodden and express all the good qualities that he possesses, then there would be harmony and peace in this world. So man has to learn from his mistakes. He has to follow nature laws, not only other laws, but nature laws. And if man is able to do this, fine. If not, then man has to face the wrath and the fury of nature. So, with these words, live and let live. Let's change the hell that we are in to heaven. For this beautiful talk, thank you very much, sir, to Dr. Vinayak Phadke. It was a very amazing talk, and you have really opened our minds to think and to drop our ego and to drop our selfishness. So, as teachers, I think we should take an oath today to take heed of this lecture and to change our habits. And only if we change, then we can be real models to our students. Thank you very much, sir. Thank the audience for being with us on this FTP. I'm sure all of you will be very happy today with this talk, and it is an eye-opener for each and every human being on the earth. I also take this opportunity to thank our principal and the vice principal of our college and the organizing team, other members who have helped us with this FTP. Thank you so much. God bless, and live and let live. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. Okay.
फिर मिलेंगे सर.
फिर मिलेंगे. Okay.